folks, it's me, Michaela, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing something I have not done before, and that is because I read a book and I didn't read it for a reading vlog, and I finished reading that book and I just need to talk about it. I need to talk about the book because I have a lot of thoughts and feelings about the book, and I don't want to wait for my reading wrap up at the end of the month, and I also don't want to take up that much time during my reading wrap up to talk about this. So we're talking about it now. I would like to just start this off with one, if you're interested about why this is on my wall, check out my solving a murder mystery video that I'll link for you. But two is that I did not hate this book. This is going to be kind of like rambly, maybe a bit of ranting, kind of talking about this, but I did not hate this book. I wouldn't even say I dislike this book. I gave this book 3 stars. I actually had a fun time with this book. I just had a lot of parts in it that I thought that I have some comments on, and I'm going to be sharing those. I make fun of even my most favorite books, so this is just like what I do. This is my personality. I'm just like putting this there because I don't like giving negative reviews, but I do like to have some fun, so here we are. The book I'm going to be talking about, you probably saw the title of this video, but it's Unravel Me by Becka Mack. So this is the 3rd book in her Playing for Keeps series. This is a hockey romance. It is based in Vancouver, Canada. This is, like I said, the 3rd book. So it's like a group of hockey players on a like imaginary fictional NHL team in Vancouver. And so each book is like one of the teammates. And then of course it's all interwoven characters, okay? The fact that it's like all of it is like, here's me falling in love with the best friend of my teammate's my teammate's best friend, no, my teammate's wife's best friend is who I fall in love with, and then my sister falls in love with my other teammate, and then this is the first one where the woman actually like is new, so that's nice. And not that the other ones are bad, I just find it kind of funny how like in romances, and look, I like it, it is just kind of funny and absurd to think about how like everyone in these people's close circles happen to fall in love with each other and be perfectly made for each other in a romantic way. It is just like unrealistic in a fun way. It's unrealistic in a fun way. But this is following Adam. He's the NHL player. He is the goalie, okay, for the team. And then Rosie, who is a single mom who's also in vet school. So like that's the premise. I will also say like this is going to be spoiler filled. There's no way I can talk about this and not just be giving spoilers. So if you don't want to hear the spoilers for this book, get out of here right now. Leave. Come back for my reading wrap up because I won't give spoilers then and you can still know what I think. But this is gonna have a lot of spoilers because I'm basically gonna just talk through what happens in this book and then my thoughts on that based off of my memory. Because also, let's just begin with the fact that this book is 500 pages. It is over 500 pages. No, it's not. That's a lie. It's 500 pages. But that is so long for a romance book, right? So we start off, Adam has a dog. The dog is named Bear. And of course, he has an ex that we already know about from the first 2 books named Courtney, okay? There's like some scene at the beginning where she comes back, but basically all we need to know is that because Courtney isn't someone we like, she is the literal worst human to ever exist on the planet. Okay? The goodness of people feels very black and white in this book. So Courtney, literally straight from hell, the devil has risen in her, okay? She had like cheated on Adam in like in another earlier book, so he left her, and now he and his dog are all like heart. I guess the dog's not heartbroken, the dog's probably fine, but like he's all like heartbroken and untrusting, and so he's been like dating, he's been on dating apps. Okay, he's been on Tinder, which one, if you are a famous NHL hockey player, you are not on Tinder. I am sorry, you are not on Tinder. You're mad that everybody that you've been on dates with is like faking liking you, but actually just wants your money and your fame, or you're talking it. You're on Tinder. There are famous people dating apps. So I feel like a little bit like you've signed up for this. Like do some better vetting, okay? Before you just go on dates with everybody, hoping you're gonna fall in love through Tinder as a famous NHL hockey player. Anyway, the first scene is what? Does the first scene even really matter? It's like in July, he wakes up from a party, he's like crazy hungover. His devil ex from hell is there and is like basically naked in his t-shirt, and he's like, what the hell are you doing here, get out of my house. And she's like, it was so fun at the party last night. And he's like, literally no, get out of here, bye. So then he like goes on a hike in the woods, and he runs into Rosie, because Rosie's also on a hike in the woods. And by runs into Rosie, I mean that his dog is apparently off leash in the woods, which already, like, keep your dogs on leashes. His dog tackles Rosie, okay? In like a nice way, because he's nice, but it's like a big dog. He has a big dog. And so the dog tackles him, and then they have like their meet cute. But I'm just gonna tell you right now, just because a man is hot and has 8 abs, okay? He's 6'5". You're telling me that Rosie got tackled by a dog in the woods and then is approached by a 6'5" man who immediately just picks her up? Like, that is creepy behavior. That is, if he was not a hot ass man, that would be terrifying. That would be creepy. That would be get away from me, honey. That would be get out of here, right? Right? Like, I can't be alone in this. Like, the meet cute in this is not cute. I'd be terrified. I'd be like, I'm about to get murdered. This giant man just picked me up off the ground to like help me. Okay, he does like put her down immediately, but like I would have been like, get me out of here. Okay, I would be like, Piglet, you anxious little German Shepherd, come save me. There's also an anxious German Shepherd named Piglet that Rosie really loves. That's a shelter dog for the shelter that she works at in between her terms at vet school, which she has 1 year left of vet school, and it's the summer, so she's off on break. They have their meet cute, whatever. I don't even know how. I think maybe he like finds her somehow accidentally. He like shows up at the shelter. They like spend the afternoon together. They like share a sandwich or something, okay, and then they like leave, and then she had mentioned that she works at this shelter nearby, so like he like finds that shelter, guesses that might be where she works, and like shows up there. Again, if he was not really hot, that's kind of creepy. But whatever, they're meant to be. They're perfect for each other. Things like this, I just kind of like suspend my disbelief with it. You know, like I wasn't mad at this book yet, but I was like, man, if that happened to me, I would not be swooning. I would be terrified. Because also, let's not forget, this man is 6'5", and like just jacked because he's a hockey player. Like, that could be scary. Okay, I am in case you could not figure out, not 6'5", a man or jacked. So I think if I came across that person and then they just showed up at my work, I did not tell them explicitly that I did work at, I'd be a little concerned. Okay, they end up going on a date. She does not know who he is. She doesn't even know anything about hockey. She doesn't know he's a hockey player. He finds out that she has a like just over 1-year-old son, and he immediately just like loves this child, which is fine. That's fine. You know, they're great, they're happy, whatever. They're all like, we're dating, but we're taking it slow because the child, you know, even though the kid already calls him dad, and they're like, it's a phase, he calls everybody dad. And then we find out about his actual dad, who again, because he's not the love interest, is the literal worst person on the planet. That's how it works. Like, you're either like the love interest or someone that they like, and therefore you are perfect, or you are literally the devil reincarnate. Like, those are the two options. Those are the two options. And so that's what he is. And the thing is, they have the dad, okay, in the book. He doesn't need to be there. You could remove everything to do with him, okay? From the book, nothing would change. Not a thing would change, because every theme or thing that is brought up because of him, already there, already discussed. You don't need him there. You don't need him there being literally the worst person on the planet to just like exist there, okay? Like, that doesn't make sense. They're also like, we're dating and we're taking it slow, but then literally like a month into it, Adam is like, I'm gonna decorate this room at my house for your son specifically, so he has his own bedroom at my house. And what about that is slow? And it's like, okay, whatever, it's fine. But I think this was like my main issue. I'm sorry, I really am not gonna be making any sense in this whole video, but like, this is just what we're working with, okay? I'm rambling. Thoughts are pouring out of me. But this book is very cheesy. It is very cheesy. And don't get me wrong, I like cheese, but this book is so cheesy that it's making me lactose intolerant, okay? Like, there's too much cheese. Like, everything about it is cheesy, and it's too much. Like, you can't appreciate the cheesy because it's all cheese, okay? It's like, here's my sandwich, but it's just like a block of cheddar between two other blocks of cheddar is how cheesy the book is. That's the level of cheese in the book. And I can't handle that much cheese, okay? I like a little bit. It's a romance. You expect there to be a certain amount of cheese, but this fondue pot is overflowing. I'm gonna stop with the cheese metaphors now because this is getting too much, and also now I want fondue. But this is just like too much for me in the book, okay? Then they keep doing things that don't make sense. Like what they say and what they do does not align. Because they're like, let's take it slow, but then it's like, I'm gonna decorate a room specifically for your son in my house. And like, that doesn't feel very slow to me. They're like, let's take it slow, but all of our conversations are gonna be making sexual innuendo jokes to each other. Which again, like, does not seem to align well in my brain. Like, it just doesn't make a lot of sense in the noggin for me personally. Look, at this point, I'm still having fun. I'm still having a fun time. The kid is cute. I will say there is this scene, okay, the kid is like 14 to 16 months old, okay? And there is this scene where they just cut a banana in half and then hand the kid like half a banana. And I can't stop thinking about that because I just don't think you would just hand a cut in half unpeeled banana to a 14-month-old child. Like, I just don't think that's something, look, do I have experience around a 14-month-old child? No, but like in my brain, that's just like what, also they were home. So like, why would you not just cut up the banana? I feel like I'm very much focusing on this banana thing, but like, I was reading this scene and I'm like, you're literally in your home and this is still a toddler. Why are you not just cutting up the banana? Why are you just handing him the banana? It's just, I don't know why, but that really stumped me. It really stumped me and I don't know what to think, but like, whatever. Again, like, is this being extremely nitpicky? Yes, but that's the whole point of why I'm here, is because I'm being nitpicky, okay? So like, here they are, going slow, not slow. He, for whatever reason, well, we know the reason. The reason is that, like, he's all, like, messed up from his exes and, like, all these people who only want him for his NHL status, that he does not tell her his job for like ever. Like, he just doesn't tell her what he does for work. And so they're like bonding all these things. They're like sharing their secrets because like he's adopted. And then she tells him about how she was also in the foster care system because her parents died in a house fire, like very traumatically. And then she was never adopted. So at the age of 12, she became an orphan and then never had a family again. And so she has trust issues, which again is why I'm like the father of the son does not need to be in the picture, because that is enough for her to have her insecurities and trust issues is her backstory, that you could just say that she accidentally got pregnant and then the guy walked out, okay? And just not have him be in the picture. It creates the exact same thing as this weird thing where he's here, but then he's not, but then he's literally the worst person on the planet and doesn't care about his son, okay? Makes sense. There's also a scene in this, okay? She's about to start vet school. She gets called into the vet clinic, she gets called into the school by the dean, okay? To have a conversation. And the dean tells her that her scholarship has been taken away by her donor, basically because the donor now believes she's not like dedicated enough to vet school because she took a year for maternity leave, which literally would not happen. That literally cannot happen because one, I'm pretty sure from my experience at university is that if you like donate to a scholarship, you don't get to pick who gets the scholarship, like specifically. That's not up to you. You can like have like attributes maybe that are like, or qualities or qualifications to have said scholarship, but you as the donor don't just get to be like, you get it. And also, you literally cannot discriminate and take scholarships away from people for taking sick or maternity leave. That cannot happen. Cannot happen. So like, get out of here. I'm not gonna throw this book, I bought it. So then like, of course, Mr. NHL man, because he is millionaire, who also has signed an 8-year contract. And like, I don't know anything about hockey, okay? I really don't. But this man has already been on the team for multiple years, and now the team is signing him for 8 more years. And like, I'm sorry, based off of my extremely limited knowledge of sports, that seems highly unrealistic, because it's like, then you're gonna be old, right? Like, I feel like 8 years is a really long time for a sports contract. Like, that seems unreasonable to me. But I don't know, maybe that happens in hockey. Also, just in general, the fact that all of these people are on a hockey team and none of them have been traded off for like, this is now 3 years, right? Like each one is a season of hockey, and they're all still on the team. Like all of these people are best friends. They're all still on the team. None of them have been traded away. Again, I don't know much about hockey, but I don't think that's how professional sports work. Like, again, I'm not mad about it because it's a romance book, but it's just like funny to think about. It is funny to think about how that apparently is happening. How, like, all the other teams, there's no new players coming to your team? Who's texting me? Go away. Like, that doesn't make sense. Anyway, I think at that point, like, by the time she loses her scholarship illegally, that I think she's also now, it's been revealed to her that this guy is actually an NHL hockey player, maybe. And I'm like, man, you met a giant man in the woods, started dating him, and you never Googled his name. You didn't Google the random man you met in the woods? You could have avoided all of this. But NHL man makes a scholarship to replace the other scholarship just for her, and then like names it after the road that her house where she grew up with her parents is on. And then she's like, oh my god, he cares so much. He cares because he listened to me when I told him about my life. So then she's like, I'm gonna give him a second chance. So then they're like back to their second chance, but they're also like going slow again, which is like, well, did that work well the last time? Because the last time, you know, like that didn't seem too slow, but okay. And so like you get to this point where like then it seems like she's forgiven him for lying to her about his career. So you're like, okay, that was the third act conflict and things are about to resolve, right? No, incorrect. There is still like 150 to 200 pages of this book left. And this is where I started to fear I was getting into a reading slump, because I didn't want to pick this up, because I was like, well, what's the rest of the book then? Because isn't this the conflict? Could predict that going forward, right? Okay? But no, that's not the conflict, because then they're like not together, but she's forgiven him, but they're not together because she needs time. Which is fine. But then the book goes and pulls a Marley and Me on you and almost kills off his dog. And then she like helps save his dog's life. So then you're like, oh my god, like now I've gone through the emotional turmoil of you almost killing off a dog in a book that was like, you can't kill, I'm sorry. And this is the thing, they didn't kill off his dog, but there was another dog that was just like her at vet school taking care of this dog, and then the dog died. I'm like, I'm not reading romance books to read about dogs dying traumatically, okay? That is not why I'm here. This is not what I signed up for, okay? No thank you. I did not sign up to read Marley and Me. I signed up to read a hockey romance. So then his dog doesn't die. Great. So then it's like, oh, they're together again, right? Kind of. So then they're like kind of dating. Then like the like worst man on the planet is the worst man on the planet, the father of the child. What he does is he's supposed to be watching his own child, like having time with his child that he is supposed to be caring for. And because he's like literally the worst person to ever exist, he instead leaves his 14 to 16-month-old child in a playpen and then leaves him there, leaves the apartment, goes downstairs to the bar to get drunk and watch a baseball game. So then like the couple, Rosie and Adam, they find out and they like go and break in the door to get the kid back. And again, it's like that didn't need to happen. He did not need to be the worst person on the planet in order for their relationship to work out. Like that didn't need to happen. He didn't need to be literally performing child neglect in the book. That didn't need to be going on, right? Right? Oh my gosh. So it was just like a lot. Like, so I was like, oh my god. Now here we are. We've had like a third act conflict, which actually apparently was like a second act conflict. You've like killed off a dog. You Marleyed me but didn't kill off the dog. Then you're having like this child neglect situation, right? And then you're like, surely this book is ending soon, but no, it is not. Okay, there's still more of the book left. And I'm just like, what more could possibly happen at this point? Where are we going? What is going on in here on this day? And by day, I mean like a week, because it took me forever to read this freaking book. And again, I didn't even hate it. I wasn't like, oh man, this book is just bad, I'm gonna DNF it. Like, I was having a good time, and I'm like, I need to know what happens, but also I was like, how is this not over yet? Honey, how is this not over yet? Like, this book needs to be edited. It needs to be edited. And it sucks because it's like, I like the characters. I do. Actually, that's a lie, because I hate Carter. I hate Carter because he He is a man-child, okay? Literally, like, he becomes more infantilized in every book. In his own book, which is the first book, Carter is, like, kind of insufferable. And then, like, in the second book, he really acts like a child. And in this one, like, he's acting so much like a child that it's weird. He's, like, eating with his mouth full and complaining that people are taking his Oreo cookies away from him. Weird. But then also he's like constantly sexualizing himself, and it's just like a really weird dichotomy that I don't really like in a character, and also he's just really annoying and I hate it. So like he can just like get out of here. But like the other characters, like I like them. It's fun. It's a fun little like found family kind of like thing going on, right? Cute, like it. There is also a point where 2 of the hockey players from the team put on fake mustaches and like go to the vet clinic to like pretend to meet Rosie, which is like weird. But it happens, okay? And she apparently never doesn't question it much. She doesn't question that, which seems odd. Oh my god, like literally, like where even am I now? I've like lost so much of my train of thought. Like I think I'm literally like, I think like my last 2 brain cells are desperately fighting to rub themselves together right now and form a thought. It left me. I mean, like they saved the kid, right? Okay. So then they're like getting back together. He just assaults the father because apparently you can do that. Just by the way, you can't just assault people. But he did. And then you're like, okay, well now they're back together and it's finally over. But no, because now they're together. Okay, they're together. She's finally meeting all his friends because she finally knows that he's an NHL player. Because again, she never Googled the name of the man she met in the woods. Ma'am, I'm just gonna, look, this is a PSA. If you meet a man in the woods, I do not care how sexy, hot, and attractive that man is. If you start dating him, Google his name. Please. Because then you would think this is over? You think this is over? No, because the other worst person on the planet comes back, okay? The ex, okay, has been trying to communicate with him, been calling him or whatever this whole time to, like, get his attention. He's just been, like, blocking her number and ignoring her calls or whatever. And then he was, like, supposed to meet with her and his publicist, but then, of course, like, the child was being neglected, so they had to go rescue the child. So then she shows up at, like, this fundraiser benefit because, like, he has a charity where he helps foster children because of course again he's the best person on the planet versus these people who are the literal worst humans to ever exist. And so she shows up and she's like hella pregnant and she's like, this is your baby, and he's like, no it can't be. And she's like, here's this picture of me in your bed from that party back in July, the one at the beginning of the book where like he woke up hungover and didn't remember anything, and then his ex was weirdly in his house and he kicked her out. Yeah, that night. So then he's like, that can't be my baby. And then he's like freaking out. But then the whole thing is that like Rosie sticks by his side, okay? They're now stronger than ever. She's not leaving him. She's showing his trust. And again, I don't think this needed to happen through these events. Don't think that needed to occur. Know why? Because this is the cheesiest book on the planet and they're both already obsessed with each other. And we already had a third act conflict. So why are we here? So then he's like ends up like suing the ex. Like he like says he'll sue her for like defamation basically of his character because she starts saying that she's pregnant and that he cheated on her with this home wrecker woman, which is not the case because she actually cheated on him. And then they like find out she was like dating somebody else. She probably got pregnant from that guy, and then that guy left the picture. So then she like came back and was like, well, Adam's such a nice guy, let me try and blackmail him into taking care of my no. So then she like doesn't want to get sued and like refuses a paternity test. So then like it just gets all like wiped under the rug, I guess. Like why is this here again? And like why is she the literal worst human on the planet? Like people cheat, yes. So maybe you were cheated on, but then why is she back? Because this is like the same person who has already done an extremely evil, nasty thing in the first book, okay? So now she's back again doing evil, nasty things because apparently she's like a literal evil villain character. Maybe she should go get with that other guy, though apparently he doesn't want to be a father anyway since he neglected his child despite saying he wanted, like, again, like the literal word, I just can't get over that. Like it's like comical how bad they make the people you're not supposed to like in this book, because Like, you can just make somebody unlikable and, like, we just won't like them because we're rooting for the people who are the main characters anyway. You don't need to make the other people this absolutely atrocious. Right? Oh my god. And then, like, they also, like, end up then, like, adopting a kid that they both ended up falling in love with at the foster community, which, again, it's like, it's fine. I predicted it happening. But again, that's, like, a whole other plot point in this book that already has way too many pages. And it's just, like, edit it down. Cut out the dog almost dying, okay? Get rid of that immediately, because I did not sign up for that sadness, okay? Get that out of there. Take out the scene where she's losing her scholarship, because 1, that's fixed immediately, and 2, does not really matter. 3, get rid of the freaking father. Get him out of the picture. Take out the pregnant ex. Get that out of the picture. You still have conflict, you still have a resolution, you still have a romance, and you probably also have 200 less pages. And that's my feelings about this. So again, it was 3 stars because overall I had fun. I will actually be reading the 4th book. The 4th book is coming out. I will be reading it because it's about Jackson. He now adopted a cat in this named Mittens, and I'm obsessed with Mittens, so I will in fact be reading that. But yeah, this book was just too cheesy. I think also, like, it was trying to give off slow burn, but then nothing about it was slow, so I was, like, mad because, like, I like slow burn, and it's like either just, like, have them be in a relationship and then it's like a conflict and it breaks up and then you resolve, or actually have it be slow burn, because this is this thing where you're like, we're going slow, it's so slow, but then it's not slow at all. It makes me mad. Makes me mad because it's like, you're lying to me. I can see it. I can see that you're lying to me. God, I seriously, like, I feel like I've spent too much of my time now, like, just, like, ranting and raving about this book. Hi, editing Michaela here. I'm in bed editing this video right now, and I realized that I got so distracted that I didn't even mention the fact that, like, literally every character in this book having a conversation are having conversations like they are each other's therapists. And it's, like, never feels like realistic dialogue that would happen in the world, because it's all, like, supportive, validating metaphors of other people's emotions and experiences and not, like, actual conversations, and I don't know how to feel about that. So I'm putting that in here because I truly just ramble for so long, I can't find a better place to insert this, but I do need to mention it because that also really bothered me the entire book. Okay, bye. So I should probably just, like, go. Yeah, I feel like there's also still so much that happened in this book that I didn't even talk about because, again, it's 500 pages, but there we go. That's what I'm gonna say about Unravel Me today. Thank you for listening to this. Please let me know down below if you've read this book, what your thoughts are on it. I really think my main issue is that it just wasn't edited enough, and it needed to be. I went into this book and this series in general with knowledge that this was originally self-published, I believe. So I went into this knowing that it's probably not going to be as polished and edited as a traditionally published book. So I was giving it some grace. But the thing is that you cannot be writing books that are this long when it's a romance. Like, you just... because it starts feeling exhausting. You can't have too much of a good thing. You can't have too much fondue in the pot. And this book is definitely way too much cheese. So there we go. I gave it 3 stars. It was fine. It was fun. But also it, like, almost threw me into a reading slump because it was just too long. There's too much going on. And there's too many evil villains for just, like, a regular book that is not supposed to be about evil villains. So yeah. Let me know your own thoughts down below. Thank you. Make sure to give this video a like if you happen to like it. If you happen to like me, consider subscribing. I'd be happy to have you. And with that, I hope you're having a wonderful day today. Bye-bye.